Hello everyone, this is Day Trader Matt with businesswithtrading.com doing a market recap for the 7th of September, Friday. Yesterday we didn't do any trades and that's why there was no video. Today the markets did gap up a little bit and it moved sideways the entire time. Very choppy, very sideways, and we did get a couple trades out of it, and you know, that was pretty good. Most traders on a day like this would, you know, blow up an account or lose a lot of money. Today we took 2 trades and we actually made 4.25 points. 4.75 was our maximum profit potential that we were working inside of, and we were successful on both of our trades. First trade, we did grab a long down here, rode that up a little bit, taking some partial profits, and then getting stopped out on the remainder at plus quarter. Then, you know, the market obviously found a bottom and bought up, and we watched the market jump around up here. We did grab a short and we were able to write it down, taking a little profit on the down move, and then it, you know, moved down a little more and then just moved sideways the rest of the time. So, you know, kind of an ugly day, but you know, we'll take 4.25 points and, you know, fight again this coming week. So, you know, taking profit is never bad, and it's definitely much better than taking a loss. So, with that said, I'd like to encourage everybody to stop by and check out the website, www.businesswithtrading.com. You know, every day we focus on the ES or the S&P futures. It's my favorite market to trade, and you know, the way I view trading is a little differently than probably some other people. The ES, I day trade it, and it's a lot of fun for me. It's basically like my job is day trading the ES. Everything else that I trade is just secondary, and you know, that's one of the reasons I sprinkled in options to the trading room, is to give a little bit of a, you know, long-term bias, and you know, to show some of my trades, because I trade just about everything, but the ES is my primary day trading instrument. It's what I focus on. That's where I make my daily income at. If I don't make money in the ES one day, you know, I don't have any money. I can't go out and have fun or anything like that, you know, but I do have a, you know, a savings account and money in there, so you know, it's no big deal. And usually my trading business, I run a year ahead of itself. So last year's profit is what I have, and this year I'm trying to make, you know, for next year. So I usually try to stay a year ahead in the trading game, and you know, so that way if I do have a bad year, you know, it's not going to kill me, because trading is not guaranteed income. It's very, you know, we can say it's very inconsistent. You know, my trading is pretty consistent, and I, you know, do make money month over month. You know, I'm not going to get a big ego and say, hey, I can do this, I can do that, no worries, guaranteed. You know, that's when you start really messing up. You know, I've always tried not to build an ego during trading, and when I was younger, yeah, I was doing pretty well and built an ego, and you know, really lost some money after that, and that's usually what happens. So that's why I try to keep a low-key type of mentality, and I don't get crazy over anything. You know, if I lose money, you know, that's part of business. If I make money, you know, that's great, but that's part of business as well. And I know that, and especially day trading the ES, you can lose money just as quickly, if not quicker, than you make money. And you know, that's why if I have a 4-point gain on a day, I'm not gonna, you know, go into the next day and say, hey, I made 4 points. You know, I can do that again. You know, because every day is going to be different. every day is going to be, the market's going to be a little bit different. Like the market's just sideways and ugly today. Let's see, the day before that, it was, a pretty good market. It gapped up and just moved higher. So every day is going to be a little bit different, and you're going to have to approach it a little bit differently and have a little bit different of a trading mindset going into it. And that's what I coach a lot of traders on, stuff like that. I think that's very important stuff, and it's definitely something you don't want to overlook. But anyway, I don't want to get too long on this video, then nobody will watch it. So let's go ahead and check out the news for tomorrow. Alright, and I know I said tomorrow, I mean this week. Sunday is today, that's when I'm recording this video, so all this news has already come out. We'll begin with Monday. We don't have any news really from 9:30 to 12. We do have at 3 o'clock consumer credit looking for 9.1 billion versus a 6.5 prior reading. On Tuesday, we have a lot of couple of Chinese numbers coming out between Tuesday and Friday, so we have those. At 8:30 in the morning on Tuesday, we have trade balance coming out looking for negative 44.2 billion. Prior was negative 42.9. And 10 o'clock, the IBD tip economic optimism number looking for 47.3. 45.6 was the prior reading. Wednesday, we have at 8:30 in the morning import prices looking for 1.4%. Prior reading was negative 0.6. At 10 o'clock, wholesale inventories looking for 0.3%. Prior reading was negative 0.2. And 10:30 crude oil inventories. Prior reading was negative 7.4 million. And just be aware, 1 o'clock there's a 10-year bond auction, so you want to be aware of that. Thursday, we have at 8:30 PPI looking for 1.2% versus 0.3. Unemployment claims looking for 370 versus 365. Also at 8:30 core PPI looking for 0.2% versus 0.4. 10:30 natural gas storage, last reading was 28 billion. At 12:30 the FOMC statement. A lot of people are going to be watching that. A lot of people have been leaving the workforce lately, and I think that's it's somewhere between now and the next few months, it's going to become very important. A lot of people are going to start talking about that, and that could come up in this meeting, or it perhaps down the road. Like I said, I don't know, I can't predict the future, but I think it's going to be important, especially with the election coming up. So 12:30 FOMC statement, federal funds rate, be surprised if that changed, but 1 o'clock we have the 30-year bond auction. At 2 o'clock FOMC economic projections and the federal budget balance, and at 2:15 the FOMC press conference. Everyone's going to be watching the press conference to see what's going to happen, and the statement at 12:30 is probably going to allude to that a little bit. On Friday we have 8:30 core CPI looking for 0.2% versus 0.1. Core retail sales looking for 0.6% versus 0.8. Retail sales looking for 0.7% versus 0.8. CPI looking for 0.5% versus flat. 9:15 capacity utilization rate looking for 79.4% versus 79.3. Also 9:15 industrial production looking for 0.2% versus 0.6. 9:55 preliminary University of Michigan consumer sentiment looking for 74.1 versus 74.3. Inflation expectations last reading was 3.6. And at 10 o'clock business inventories 0.3% versus 0.1. And of course over the weekend Eurogroup meetings, and that will coincide with where was that at? There was some European news that I saw up here. I think it was later on in the week. We have German CPI on Wednesday morning. That was closing. We have Italian bond auction on Thursday. Euro employment, Euro CPI, so that's on Friday. So we do have a lot of news. It should be a fun, action-packed week coming up, and I'm kind of excited. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. So anyway, with that, video is a little over 10 minutes. Hope everybody enjoyed the video. If you did, please click the Twitter, Facebook, and like buttons. Definitely would appreciate that, and appreciate all the support so far, everyone. It's you all that make the site awesome, and thank you for that. Have a great night, everyone, and I'll see you in the markets. Thank you.